is me, Ruowen Huang. Before I begin, let me first introduce myself. My name is Ruowen Huang. I'm an author, spirit coach, and also a psychic. Happy Valentine's Day. Wish everybody have a happy day, regardless you have Valentine or not. But I think it's because Valentine's Day is coming, or recently I got a lot of people privately message me or asking me question regarding to Valentine's. A lot of them regarding to how to I want to say how to let go of the past, but they are not really letting it go. So what happened is in the past couple of days, I got a lot of people email me or questioning me how to make the wrong person right person. I already say that on my Facebook. It can be done. I get it. You guys use my old post saying, but there is a chance that people who doesn't work with you will work with you eventually. I decided to talk about it in the later episode, but today particularly I want to talk about those people which I believe many of you have gone through experience or relationship. You realize you simply couldn't let it go. It is one of those ex-boyfriend or one of those ex-husband or ex-girlfriend or something like that. Even though you move on with your life, now when you're looking back, you still couldn't let go of that relationship. I know it's easy for people to convince you to let it go if the relationship really doesn't work. Like, if they could be really a jerk or they really can be a bad person that you happen to be in the situation with. But most of the time I realize when people couldn't really let it go, it's because they know they had did something wrong, or they know they have misbehaved. They know I was too young, too naive, and didn't know how to appreciate. And the person I was in the relationship was truly a nice person. And I just didn't know how to appreciate that. So today in this particular episode, I want to talk about those relationships that you knew or subconsciously know the person you are in relationship was nice, a nice person, and you have that awareness that it's simply you being mistreating them. So I'm not talking about those past relationships that you simply know they are jerk, it didn't work out, they mistreated you, they abused you, so you're walking away. I'm not talking about that. Like, honestly, you need to let this go. But if you still cannot let this go, come back and think about why are you drawn to being abused, or why are you drawn to this kind of situation? A lot to do with your internal thing. But then today particularly we talk about this relationship, why the person's so nice, and then you just being spoiled or being a princess or being whatever, and later on in life you mature and then you start to realize, oh, I should have treated them with no more respect. In this regard, how do you let it go? First, understand it's the regret. What is the regret about? If you identify the person that you were in the past, you do have regret toward us, then you have to, I always say that human is type of species like need some kind of ceremony, like goodbye ceremony, to wrap it up. The unfinished business never resolve or never come to a full circle. We unlikely to let go of things like that. So I will usually suggest you create a full circle for it. That is, you could, write an email or you write contact and then really apologize for what you do. So therefore you feel there's a wrap up, there's things like that. Of course, that's an easy scenario. Like you might can come to a wrap up, say, you know what, you've been very nice, you didn't deserve that, and thank you for being a part of my life and made me grow or whatever. So and so, wrap it up. Once you have that wrap up action, your mind tend to, it's like watching a movie, right? So you walk away in the middle of it, you always wonder what it would be like in the future. But if your mind had this wrap up position, like wrap up action, and then actually make it a full circle, most of human mind would tend to let it go. Okay, this is it now. This is the end. This is a perfect ending. I'm gonna leave it as it is. But of course, is that work for all scenario? Not really. Most of the time, people are curious, what if I was better behaved? What if I was more mature? What if, people like alternative ending, right? Alternative future. So if that wrap up action cannot make you feel this is it, I'm gonna let it go now. Now, I would suggest you to actually write it down, what you would do differently. Because this is how universe works. Every relationship that comes to you will present a task. This task is in order to make you a better person. That is, whether with this person or with the next person, you're supposed to learn something from it and you grow into a better person. So if this person is meant to be in your life, which I already said, if this person is meant to be in your life, and then once you change to a better person, and this person is supposed to be in your life, they will come back to your life. But if they are not supposed to be in your life, they will stay where they are, because you are not supposed to cross paths. So in that scenario, if you're living in a regret that, oh, I should have done differently. First, write it down, because that whole mind thing would drive you crazy. Oh, I could have done differently. I should still be with him. There's a possibility, there's a outer future, like I can still love them, be together, love forever, or etc. Only if I change. Now, what I'm gonna propose to you is, yes, once you change, everything else will change. But we will let universe decide how the change will be. That is, if you can think how you can do better, like I can be more respectful, I can be more, kind, I can be more so and so. You can always change at the moment you recognize how you can do better. Doesn't have to be that particular someone. What I'm saying to you is, you can start exercise that muscle, you can start exercise that skill that will see if it will make a difference. If what you assume will make a difference, that means it will directly impacting your life. That means your life will see the direct result before you want to try it on that particular someone. You know what I mean? So if I want to become more I want to respect people more, I want to say more kind word or things like that, I would not be so spoiled, I will not take anything for granted, or etc. Start executing with your current relationship, with whoever you are with. It doesn't have to be a relation, can be your friend, can be your colleague, can be your family. Understand, as you grow older, you really don't have the privilege, like, oh, my test to the relationship is different from my test to my family. They're a completely different thing. Not really. Most likely it's the same task with different form. So once you're executing it and you do notice your life is getting better or things like that, then you will know this method do work. But the reality is, once you do execute such an action, your life most likely will change to better. When it changes to better, it might already come with the result that you never expect to see. So what I'm saying is, beating around the bush, really what I'm trying to say is only one thing. Stop trying to make the wrong person right person. I get a lot of time people have regret. I mean, sure, there's some past boyfriend or something, they're really nice people, only if we can be together or something like that. Reality is, the soul have the tendency of self-evolve. We have the tendency to try to improve ourselves and grow to the better future. The future that you did not see doesn't mean it doesn't exist. What you assume is the best in the past not necessarily represent is the best outer future for your future. So if you continue working toward it to better yourself, to growing to the better future, your outcome most likely will be more what you wanted instead of what you thought was the best for your future. So that's how I would suggest you. The other thing I really sometimes recommend people, but it's really depending on you. Instead of speculate what is gonna happen, write it down like a story. Imagine how you will be in that story. Imagine how the person will be in that story. And then write a story about it and then put a period at the end of the book and call it a day. You know what I mean? That would be your outer future. If this life I'm not able to live it, at least some life, your memory will always remember things. Maybe you will live that outer future life in some life in the future. So for your guys' reference, there's so many ways of letting go of things. They usually require some kind of wrap-up ceremony or some kind of action to say this is the end, this is the period, and this is it. Everybody's different, but me personally, I like to, if I do mistreated someone, and that would be 10 years, 20 years later, I like to apologize for my behavior. Whether people accept it or not accept it, but usually I like to come to find peace within myself. Like, I'm pretty happy with my life, but I am sorry for what I have done to you. I like to find that peace more with myself than with that someone else. Okay, so as I many episodes I mentioned before, instead of trying to focus your whole life on someone else, it's always more important to bring it back to yourself and focusing on what it is that really you are pursuing, what it is that your soul really is looking for. And if you're able to come to the peace with it, most likely you will find peace with everything else. So instead of saying anyway, I notice myself saying not a soul. So again, if you like what I'm doing, you can always join me live on Facebook or go to subscribe my YouTube channel or my website, ruowen.com. Till then, next time. Bye.